Welcome everybody, thank you for tuning in to our Tailgate Tuesday review series brought to you by CompetitiveCyclist.com. We'd like to thank Competitive for extending a 15% discount code to our viewers. That is Loam Wolf 15. And we'd also like to thank the brands who have supplied many of the tailgate pads to us directly. We are gonna be giving away a lot of those pads after this series is done, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in this video, let us know what you think about this pad and the others, and get ready for some giveaways. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the Backcountry Getaway Goat tailgate pad. Tell us about the Backcountry Getaway Goat.
All right, claims hold 6 bikes. It's a standard tarpaulin lined tailgate pad, has a microfiber fleece interior with a ton of padding. We've got a fairly thick pad itself, then you got stanchion, pad and spacers, and then we got downtube pad and spacers.
Okay.
So it might be the most protective of the bunch.
Yeah, I mean, it looks it, like there's straps and adjustments and padding all over the place.
Yeah, so the straps up here are meant to help adjust to most tailgate sizes. Obviously, this tailgate doesn't have a cap on it. The new GMCs have a cap. Most new vehicles have caps. It can also be adjusted to fit curved tailgates, which not many do.
And how does it perform on curved tailgates?
Well, we fit it to the Ford, the F-150.
Yep.
The pad itself fit great. No real concerns. Fitting bikes, on the other hand, different story, but we can dive into that in a minute.
Okay.
The downtube straps are fairly long. They might be the longest of the bunch. And within those are downtube protectors. So more protection. The straps fit analog and e-bike SLs, and it might fit full size, Levo mainly. I think the Levo might be
some slimmer e-bikes.
Yeah. It's got a 4-strap retention system, which is one of 3 in the shootout, I believe. So kudos there. And then we've got a ginormous double flap to access the tailgate handle and backup camera. So these can be kind of folded out of the way and just tucked down like that. So kind of nice. I think just fully removable would be better, but it's better than nothing.
And better than many others too.
Yeah.
Because with that
you can actually use it and still put bikes on it.
Right, and still use your camera.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Craftsmanship, durability, value?
I mean, at 179 bucks, it's middle of the pack with most. It's not double stitched, so I mean, I guess it'd only really be an issue if you're throwing 60-pound e-bikes and just literally throwing them in. But aside from that, if you're just placing them, I think construction's gonna be fine. Okay. So now getting to holding the bikes is where we run into a fairly decent issue. The stanchion spacers, while great in theory, are not all that well thought out.
Okay.
If we move over here, you can see the first one falls in line, fine, but that then throws off everything else. So the first bike's tire is gonna be way flatter, forcing the second bike to rest more on the tire, not on the pad, as we got a 3-finger gap between the stanchion. And then it only gets progressively worse the more bikes you add. Like the final bike, the top 2 will probably be up here. So it'll still hold the bikes, but it's gonna look very weird. I think if Backcountry were to just get rid of the spacers and do just a flat 3-inch pad all the way across, I think the bikes would sit much better, and it would force the first bike's tire angle to kick out more, allowing better contact with the pad.
That obviously, that was, if I recall, exacerbated on the F-150 or like bikes or trucks that have very rounded tailgates. That problem got worse, whereas this is a pretty flat and thin tailgate. Is that correct?
I mean, we got 5 on the F-150, but like, I mean, the third bike was probably a fist spaced out, but then there's quite a gap between the middle two. So it's kind of able to reset.
Okay.
But then obviously once it reset, you still ran into the issue once you get to the third bike.
Yeah.
But the curved tailgate being like 7 inches across in the middle certainly pushes things out a little bit more.
And you ran this on your truck for quite a while as well.
Yeah, I had it on for a couple months. We never really loaded it though with 6, 7 bikes. Like we still ran into this problem.
We only had like 4 on there.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a deal breaker or anything. But we were also running e-bikes and strapping them down didn't matter.
What are highlights that stand out that you like about this pad, and what are some of the things that you think could be improved or don't like about it?
I mean, it's got a lot of positives going for it, I think. All the bike protection is a huge plus. It's probably the most bike heavy protection of all the pads. Construction is pretty solid. The 4-point retention system's great. Being able to easily access the tailgate handle and just keep it hidden or keep it open with having access to the backup camera, it's kind of nice. And then the microfiber liner is just a must-have for me. Okay. So it ticks off a lot of those boxes, and being able to adjust is a pretty solid one too, although it can look a little messy.
Busy, but yeah, it is nice. And I guess if you're not changing between different trucks often, that may not be something that you take advantage of, but it is a nice feature for...
Yeah, it just helps tailor it to your truck.
Okay. And what are the biggest, I guess, reasons that maybe it's not your favorite?
I would say just the way that these spacers are designed, they just don't work for their intended use. Okay. Like it's great on paper, but it's poorly executed. Okay. I think just redesigning or just even moving the pads over so they're not in line with the down tube, because that's where the issue stems from, I believe. Yeah.
Any type of truck that these work better or worse on that we came across?
I think it works on all. Yeah. I mean, as far as fit and everything goes, having these straps makes it so you can throw it on any tailgate.
So overall then, where does it sit in the grand scheme of tailgate pads?
I'd say it's at the top of the middle of the pack, like 3rd, 4th.
Okay. So you have pads you like better, but it's better than a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. And what would be pads that you like better than this, you think?
Race Face and Yakima are the top 2, and then this could be tied with the Census pad, I think. Okay.
Very different ends of the spectrum. The Census pad's like a minimalist, got nothing on it.
It is,
got
and
everything.
I hate to love the Census pad, but for its simplicity, that's why I like it. Okay. But we'll get to that when we get to that review. Okay.
That is the Backcountry Getaway Goat. Lots of great features, adjustability, versatility, and a couple of misses as well, I think. You know, while we like the access to the backup camera, the fact that you can fold it down and still use that with bikes on there, the microfiber liner, the ability to put on different size tailgates, all great things, but just something about those bumpers and the way they're situated and how the fork lower contacts the tire of the bike in front of it and just starts pushing it farther off the pad is a little bit of an issue if you're really trying to stack them deep. But all in all, a very solid pad and one that we run quite regularly. We have a lot more pads than we have trucks, so make sure you guys subscribe, leave a comment down below. Once again, Lone Wolf 15 for 15% off at competitivecyclist.com. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you out on the trails.